following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it is time for another edition of Mick Shots. Bill Jones with Everson Walls and the star of the show, Mickey Spagnola.
Mick. And look what he has today.
Oh, he's got the
live read for the entire week.
Go ahead, give it to Bill. Give it to Bill.
And probably we should call this the pregame show to the breaking news of the day, because we are guaranteed after we sign off at 2:15 there will be breaking news from the Cowboys.
It never fails.
Yep, it's happened. It happened on Friday. It happened on Monday. We'll see if it happens again on Tuesday.
And here comes our breaking news.
Oh, we've got some breaking news right now.
Yes.
Entering the studio.
Uh-oh.
Dani Sureck.
Oh, what is happening
Dani
here?
Sureck is going to join us for her swan song
All right.
with the Dallas
You can
Cowboys.
leave, Spags.
I can go?
You can go, man.
But you're going to need me tomorrow.
One last time. That's right.
Hi, Dani Sureck.
Hi, guys.
So
I
what you
missed
doing? You just barge in on everybody's show today?
No, only the best.
I don't think Everson.
Only one show.
You have to announce to Everson, I think.
Well, Mickey said something about swan song.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
This will
See,
be
we're tight. We're tight, you guys.
This will be Dani's last official deal for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I thought it would be yesterday. I did a whole bunch of shows with Mickey, and lo and behold, he
Here
got
we are
me.
again.
See, you got,
right.
now it's me. See, now it's
Yeah.
me. I'm the one. We have a special connection.
We do.
We do the games outside there on the turf. You know, we do that when they're having a
Tostitos
away game.
Championship Plaza.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Bill never misses a chance to get in that spot, right? And there it is, the Tostitos Championship.
There it is.
Plaza.
The
right.
fans love us out there,
Nothing
man. No matter
going on out there.
Wind, rains, snow, or
It was
heat.
cold, and it was hot. That
Ooh,
first
yes,
one.
That first one.
I recall.
And we came through like champs, didn't we?
We sure did.
That's right. And the Cowboys won, didn't they?
They won
just
one
say
of them.
yes. Just say yes.
So just to pull back the curtain, Dani, this is her last day with us. She's moving on to the Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona.
Sure am.
Oh, thank God you're not going to Florida.
And so I thought it
Jumped
was
on
only,
that Kyler Murray bandwagon.
I
after what
sure
they
did. Did you? Have you
against the
heard of him,
Tennessee
Bill?
Titans.
You know, he played high school football here in Texas.
In Texas, yeah, he's a
Yes.
quarterback. If he did that, then Bill definitely knows. The next 30 minutes, we're going to hear about
and then he ended up somewhere else, wore red,
That's right.
still wearing red.
That's right. Yep. And played pretty well against the Tennessee Titans. So Dani just decided, you know what? That looks like a pretty good team to work for, right?
Nice segue.
Yeah, I'm going to go for 1-0 instead of 0-1. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Of course not. Yeah, it's very bittersweet. Definitely going to miss working with everyone and all the fun I've had hopping on the show, but I'm not going to get too much into it because I've spent the last 2 work days crying to every person I talk to about it. Mickey can attest to that. So I'm going to keep it dry-eyed today.
Good. We're going to keep it light. Keep it light.
Okay, I'm going to bet against it, but that's okay.
Yeah, you know what? That's a pretty safe bet.
Right?
Yeah, I'm going to bet against it as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
So that's our breaking news.
All right.
Hopefully that's all, right?
Yeah,
Boy,
well.
after we finished yesterday.
So, like on Friday, it was the Lyle Collins news came down after we signed off the air. And then yesterday, Zack Martin coming off the COVID list. That Randy Gregory is on the COVID list. What do
Right.
we know now, Mickey?
We know that Randy Gregory, it sounds like, tested positive. He is vaccinated. It's been reported that he's asymptomatic, although when Jerry was asked about it, he said he had mild symptoms, so I'm not sure where that kind of fits into asymptomatic. But if he is and he can test negative twice in a 24-hour period, or the test separated by 24 hours, it's a 5-day deal. So he could get back technically in time to play.
That's true.
On Sunday if he's feeling, good enough to go out there and play. So,
well, and that's the thing is you have to be asymptomatic when you pass the test 24 hours apart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll see. They'll kind of hold out hope, but we saw when we were holding out hope for Zack Martin, it didn't really work out so
well. But a little bit different, though, right?
But
different
I think he had symptoms.
Yes.
I think. Yeah. So that one broke.
So Bill, I want to talk. So you had it, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I listened to C.D. Lamb on Hard Knocks. He talked about
the toothpaste.
Yeah, the toothpaste. He's burning the candles, and he didn't even know what to cook. That was like the simple things like
because
that.
He didn't have smell or taste.
Yeah. Is that same with you?
I lost my smell and taste, but it wasn't as noticeable for me. For my daughter, she didn't have her. It was weeks before she got her full smell and taste back. So she was complaining about it at least for a couple
when you
months.
eat like when you eat like you just.
I can eat anyway. It doesn't matter. I just inhale
everything.
Anyway, right? All the
everything tastes like paper.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me. So.
You gotta take that for granted. That's what I was
yours hit before the vaccination started, right?
Right as they did. Before
you were eligible.
Before I was eligible. It was in February. It hit when we had the ice storm here.
Of course, yeah.
Our whole family, we lost power. My youngest daughter, she and her husband lost power, so we went to go live for a couple of days with my middle daughter's, with her family, her husband and 2 kids. And
you infected them.
And well, no. And so 2 days into it, Colin, my son-in-law, wakes up and he's not feeling well.
Uh-oh.
I got out of that house as quick as I could. And by that night, I was feeling it too. And so everybody got it.
Yeah.
Then, so
that's when I broke my shovel in my pool.
Well, here's the thing. What I have heard for people who have it, what I heard at the time was you got to keep moving, okay? Don't lay around, okay? So I went out and with a shovel. My worst day of it was a couple of days later. I probably would have called in sick that day. Of course, we were working from home, and so it was easy to just go upstairs and do a show. But I went out and chipped away I got my shovel and was chipping away at the ice and I felt much better after that. Nice. You get the blood circulating.
That was 3 of us chipping away.
I lost my head of my shovel. I just stuck with a stick in my hand.
Mine almost went underneath the ice, and I had to yank it back out.
That was a waste of time.
And then I realized all the ice that I broke up, the pump came on, right? But it made everything go into the skimmer, and it blocked up the water going to the pump.
Yeah.
So, Mick, I'm dressed like I'm going skiing, right? So I just take my hand, and I reached in there to get it out. And then I came out, and it's like below zero. And my hand was
man.
But not as bad as what Dani had to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't using a shovel because we don't have a pool, but at my parents' house, my dad and I were having to turn the water off because the pipe burst in the bathroom above the kitchen. So we had a nice little flood in the dark with no power and no water.
There's so many people that went through that kind of thing. And it took literally, I don't know for your family, but it was 5 months later. There's in our neighborhood, there's still construction vehicles around the neighborhood. And
the renovation started in June. Was supposed to be about a month, and it's still going on.
Wow.
Well, I don't know what happened.
But you know what?
She said, "I'm out of here."
I'm just going to say this: I am the true MVP because I've been having to share my bathroom with my parents. So.
Wow. And you still look great.
Oh, wow.
Still look great. That's a tough deal.
Yeah. Why do you think I'm leaving?
I have 3 daughters, Dani, and if one of my daughters had to share a bathroom with my wife, somebody wouldn't be living. Somebody wouldn't be living here.
I never lost power. At all. And my son's upstairs on the treadmill. Like, dude, we're really pushing it here. He's up on the treadmill. It's freezing outside. My family's on the WhatsApp. They're like, well, we're having problems. Lights just went out. And we're like quiet in our house. And they're like, what's going on with Cubby and his family? And we just finally said, hey, we're okay over here. No lights, heat, everything's still working. And, because we didn't want them all running over to my house. Come on. And then it goes off at my house. Then they're going to go back home. So I was pretty selfish at that time, I must admit.
Yeah, but back on the COVID topic, and with these players going through it, and it obviously it varies. And viral load is a big thing. I understood. It varies with each person, but I still had some. I could feel it for over 3 week period. There's more muscle aches and so forth. I can only imagine for a professional athlete who has those kind of symptoms. I know Myles Garrett talked about it last season, that it took him till the end of the season before he finally got over it after getting it, I think, in November last year. I mean,
the Celtics player, he said he still feels it. Tatum?
Jason Tatum.
Tatum. Yeah, he said he still feels it.
Yeah, and there's
and he
long
played
haul.
an entire season after that.
And see, he was what they call a long hauler then, probably. And so, but anyway, like we were talking about Zack Martin last week. Well, he didn't practice last week. If he truly had symptoms, how do you play in an NFL game on a Thursday night having not practiced? And so hopefully Randy doesn't have symptoms and can be ready to play on Sunday.
And you know what? And I think this is something, and I think Jerry talking today on his radio segment just kind of resigned to this is going to be like somebody spraining their ankle. It's going to continue to happen. And as a matter of fact, I just read something that the Saints had a breakout.
Yes, they do.
On the team.
Like six offensive coaches, I think, assistant
coaches and
the nutritionist.
And unfortunately, they've been moving around, so they're probably in double jeopardy on this.
What do you do with that, man?
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
It's amazing.
This is crazy.
And I think, I'm still somewhat cautious, but I think everybody's just so ready to get back to living life the way they were living life, and it's kind of hard to put the genie back in the bottle once you start, doing that after being so cautious for a year and a half.
Well, look at football stadiums all across the country right now.
Yeah.
I mean, NFL and college.
How about storming the field in Arkansas, or Fayetteville, I should say. Yeah. That's not all that took place yesterday, right? They did put Michael Gallup on injured reserve, so he has to miss at least 3 games. And supposedly his calf, strain, and that's kind of a euphemism for a tear in your muscle, right? It's 3 to 5, so we'll see. But he's moving real well, right, Dani?
Yeah, we saw him. We were walking to lunch, and we saw him. He was in a massive boot, and Mickey said, "Hey, that's a pretty big boot." And he laughed. He's like, "It's got to cover my calf," and he was wobbling on it, but he looked good. He was in good high spirits.
He was moving well, but he had a boot up to his knee. He smiled, and
it was reported as he'd probably be out 3 to 5 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
And there's 5 weeks until the bye week.
Until the bye, you pointed that out yesterday, I believe.
That's hard in a contract year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
And so we might as well continue on things we've learned since the show. Brandon Knight is off COVID-19, so they'll have their backups in place on the offensive line. They did bring back Liram Hawalula.
You said
hallelujah.
I did it, right?
Just go with hallelujah.
Practice squad. So they bring back a kicker, so that'll be something we have to talk about, why exactly they did that. Also, Darian Thompson, who strained a hamstring, but he was on the practice squad, so he's on the reserve.
They had called him up from the practice squad for the game, so he was still on the practice squad. So he's on the practice squad injured.
He and Burton.
Deontay
Burton. He was on the practice. No, he's on the practice squad.
I mean, they kept.
So
number 33.
Yeah, 33, right?
I'm just,
he saw the last preseason game.
Yeah, man. I'm just, as a DB, I'm like, whoa, they're gonna keep that guy. Boy, I'd still be playing.
They also signed wide receiver Robert Foster to the practice squad. And Jerry Jones broke news this morning on his segment when they asked him who was going to play right tackle in place of La'el Collins. He said Terrence Steele. Or I just said Steele.
Oh.
So we could talk about that also. Which
yeah, I know how you feel about that.
Well, tell you what, it is 1:44 here on Mix Shots. We're going to stay on time.
We can't do like yesterday. I know.
We went 30 minutes
We
before we
said
took a
screw
break.
Chris, man. We want to listen to Chris.
And so
We took
15
our
minutes
first
in.
break at 2 o'clock.
That's because you didn't have your script to read yesterday, and so we weren't sure where we were even going to take a break.
No,
but
we're
you
gonna
have
let
your script today.
We're going to have a professional do it.
All right. Very good.
We are.
Okay, so here,
there you go. Pass it on. I thought you were being facetious.
when we come back here on Mix Shots.
Check
Honey,
out the
big
new-
news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Mix Shots.
Check out the new Miller Lighthouse located outside of AT&T Stadium where Dallas Cowboys game day traditions are born. Enjoy yard games, Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, performances, beer gardens, and more. For more information, visit attstadium.com/Miller Lighthouse. Miller Lighthouse, your tailgate just got jealous. Man, I was supposed to read that flawlessly, and I butchered it.
It's that side of the
So
table.
they've got
It's the side of the table.
cornhole games out there, I guess. Yard games means cornhole games, right?
I would imagine so. They're not playing
Yep.
horseshoes.
I like cornhole.
Uh-huh.
I'm good at it.
Are you?
I'm actually good at it.
Yeah.
I saw it the other day on TV.
Yeah.
And I found out they are so much better at it.
Yes, they are.
You know who
Oh,
else
you
is
didn't
good at
watch the cornhole
I
tournament?
watched it
No way.
while games were on TV. I tweeted it. I was like sitting there, like, whoa, this is like, okay, this girl, there was a lady, I think her name was Jenner. And you know they can go on a different side, and okay, you're hanging in there, but I'm gonna go on this side.
And it knocks the other one out.
Yeah, it knocks it out, or you can push it in, or you can have it come in after you. I'm like, whoa, what is happening
You know
here?
who's good at cornhole? Chris Beam.
Really?
I'm pretty sure he played
Christopher.
in the league.
Talk to me, Christopher.
I do.
All right,
Played in the
I'm
league.
kicking your ass, man, after this.
You gonna put some money on it?
Nope, I do not. Well, no money.
All right. You watched Monday Night Football last night?
I did.
Did you watch Monday Night Football or did you watch the Manning
I
cast?
forgot that was on, so I watched the regular football.
Which means you weren't on Twitter watching the game because everyone was tweeting about the Manning cast during the game.
I am not on Twitter when I watch a football.
No, man, this is too much distraction. Come on.
That's because
too
you're not
much
a
of a
millennial like us.
Yeah, right?
That's right.
Let me just watch the game. I don't need all of that. You know, it's just against. I want to watch
Did you
the
watch
game.
Did you watch the Manning cast
I
at
did
all?
not.
Okay.
No,
Did you
and I
watch the
won't.
Manning cast at all?
I didn't watch, but I was watching things online of them. I thought they were funny, the
I'm
clips
sure
I was
they
seeing.
were.
I mean, look, they're brothers, right? So their chemistry, their banter is obviously natural, but they are just hysterical together. I
I
really
was too
like what I
busy
saw.
with my son. We do the same thing. But
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
See,
You got to have somebody to talk to, right?
Me and my
See,
son
my
go
thinking
off.
on it,
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. It's going to be tough, and Peyton's running that show.
Shocking.
And I think, and they had guests on. They had Barkley on early,
okay.
yeah, and they had
I heard Russell
Russell
Wilson
Wilson.
joined at the
Russell
end.
Wilson at
Ray
the
Lewis.
end, and Ray Lewis was there, and Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce comes on in the third quarter. And Peyton, when he introduced him, said, "Now you ought to be interested in this game because, since the Chiefs are playing the Ravens next Sunday night, whatever." And so then Travis just starts talking about whether. So Peyton asked him, "So do you watch Monday night games as a fan, or are you kind of scouting future opponents, or what?" And Travis is like, "I just kind of watch it, whatever, And we got the Raiders playing here. They're in our division, so I'll pay a close attention to them." And then he said something like, "And I think we got the Chargers next week." And so here's an NFL player.
They don't know.
It's Monday night, and he doesn't know that his next opponent is the Ravens,
Who are playing
and he's
on
watching
TV.
right now on national television. It's unbelievable.
See, that's the kind of stuff I don't need to know. Doing the ball game. I
that's
just don't need to know
different.
that. I don't need to know that.
So when those players used to tell us, I don't know who are playing next
That's
week,
right.
I just
That
got
was
to worry about this week.
proof right there.
There you go.
You tell me, Everson, how common do you think that is? That a player, they get finished with a game and they literally don't know who's the next team on their schedule. Much
Usually
less
the
24
ones-
hours. He still didn't know who the next team was.
Usually the ones that are banging heads during the ball game. Those guys, linebackers, tight ends, defensive linemen, offense. They would know. That could happen to them more than it would happen to a DB or a wide receiver. We know who we're going to play.
Mm-hmm.
I mark mine as the game goes on. But when I first get the schedule, I mark mine.
You don't know what team you're playing, but you know what receiver you're playing.
I damn sure know my receivers. Yes, I do.
And the quarterback.
And the quarterback.
That's right.
All right, so now we know who we think's going to play right tackle.
Yes.
Terrence Steele.
So no Martin
It didn't sound like it.
and no McGovern.
Right. He would be a backup, and no Nseki. Both of those guys were playing backup roles, right? The veteran that I told you. Yeah. And yesterday, remember I said the best thing that Kellen Moore could say about the veteran Nseki was that he's very knowledgeable and big.
All right. So, from what you saw in training camp in the preseason, if you're choosing between Nseki or Steele, which one has the better chance of playing a full 4 quarters?
Steele.
Yes.
And I based that on when they started training camp, Steele was second team right tackle and Nseki was second team left tackle. And then about a week or so into training camp, suddenly Steele's on the left side and Nseki's on the right side. And I'm saying, if you're going to be the backup swing tackle, you've got to play both spots, right? And the hardest spot to play is left tackle.
That's right.
So if they move Steele over to the left tackle, they say in their thinking, okay, he's good here. Now let's see if he can do this. And it didn't change, really. Now, in a couple of the preseason games, it did. But eventually, Steele got snaps at left tackle. So we'll see how it goes. But here's
Which one do you like better matched up against Joey Bosa?
Zack Martin. And I'm gonna give Nate credit for this. We were talking in Douglas's office before they went on his show, and he had a really good point because Jerry said, "Yeah, he's Steele, right tackle. We've got a lot of confidence in him, but we'll give him some help." Which I'm going, okay, that's good because last year they started off not giving him any help, right? And he's
First
undrafted
play of the
rookie.
game, there was
Yeah.
chaos.
So Nate's point was, first quarter, give him some help. Put the tight end over there. Motion the tight end over there and let him either stay in motion, and if he's going out, chip and go out, or just settle down and help him out. Let him get into the flow of the game first before you turn him loose. Don't let Joey Bosa step right in the first snap and have this guy one-on-one in a pass situation.
Which tight end is the key now?
Well,
because
Schultz.
Please, thank
Right?
you. Because I love Jarwin, but man, he just can't even get in anybody's way.
Well,
I love him as a wideout. I couldn't wait for him to get back. He showed his butt in the game. He got off, but the blocking for him has not improved. And I wonder if he still fears the knee itself.
Danny's the expert on Jarwin.
Talk to me, Danny.
Jarwin was the guest on Cowboys Hour last night, the radio show with Brad Sham and myself, and he was wonderful per usual. And he was saying he's not feeling anything in the knee. Since I asked him when, at what point, making a cut or running a route of, he didn't even really think about it. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm back. And he said right before they went to training camp, and Britt Brown has been helping him rehab, so he's not even thinking about his knee. So he's saying that there was no knee problem lingering right here, and that he's feeling.
Yeah. When he caught the ball the other night, he no fear. He was
and he put his head down and tried to run down.
Yeah, he wasn't thinking about anything but getting the first down.
Cool thing about him, was it Brad that asked the question? Yeah. Asked him what are things you need to work on, because he talked about I've got things to work on. He brought up his blocking, and he brought up the play, right?
The
pitch
option, yeah.
that he didn't make the block,
yeah.
and he said it ate at him.
That's because he heard about it all day.
Yeah, right. He said it ate at him for 2 days.
And
since,
it should. That means he's a
knew,
competitor.
He knew.
That's good.
He said, if I let my teammates down, he goes, because that's a block I should make.
That was a key miss, because you're talking the game totally looks different if we score a touchdown that drive.
So going back to right tackle, gosh, if it's going to be 5 games, and I understand it's still somewhat of an appeal process going on.
5 games.
And it's like, isn't Zack Martin? You put him out there. Is McGovern a better right guard than Steele is a right tackle? And I don't know if they just.
I might say yes on that.
They just don't. I think so, but I don't know if they just don't want to change things.
That's what I think it is. I think it's you want to change one thing instead of two,
right?
Which I understand, but I think when you have Zack Martin, who is your player who you would be moving as that second piece, I just don't understand how that's not the most appealing to you because of his athleticism and his ability to be just as good at right tackle as he is at right guard, and because we've seen Connor McGovern, who's played well at right guard. And
that's what made the difference.
Even if you're not just game planning for Joey Bosa and you're looking at those next 4 games, last year when every offensive lineman except for Connor Williams was missing multiple games with injuries, and seeing how that was affecting the flow of the offense and affecting the run efficiency, wouldn't you want to do whatever it takes for those 5 games to really try and keep this team and keep the flow and the balance that you need, as opposed to, if you don't feel like Terrence Steele is the best option at right tackle, move Zack Martin over, and that kind of keeps your team maybe closer to the level of play it had with La'el Collins and keep you in the division.
I don't think you're getting an argument from anybody in this room. Right?
Well, I'll play devil's advocate. All right. Would Zack Martin make the Pro Bowl as a right tackle?
I think he'd make a Pro Bowl at any position. To be
we don't know.
Judging
we
from
don't know. We haven't seen
what
him
I've
enough.
seen in 2 games, yes, I thought when he moved out there, he was pretty darn good. Somebody asked Kellen. Somebody asked Kellen Moore about him playing right tackle, and he basically said, Zack Martin can do anything we ask him to do.
Why are
Thank
they
you.
okay?
And
Which is the more important or more difficult position to play?
I say the tackle. I still say the tackle.
I think the tackle, but from a quarterback standpoint, it's not getting pressure up the middle.
I was going to say, for this team and with Zeke.
So that's my point.
Yeah.
So
depends on who you're playing against.
Yeah. So my question is, if he is so good at right tackle, why are they playing him at guard?
Oh, you mean like permanently?
Permanently. Why is he a guard if he is so good at tackle?
Because
they had
he
La'el
decided
Collins,
that.
La'el Collins and Tyron Smith.
No,
but La'el Collins was a guard before he was a tackle.
And then they moved him to tackle.
Right. So why when everybody's healthy does La'el Collins play tackle and Martin play guard?
Zach came in first. He's been there for a minute. I mean, so.
But okay, when he came into the league,
switching positions.
If tackle is a premium position,
right,
and he can play tackle that well, And he played tackle at Notre Dame. He didn't play inside at Notre Dame. He played left tackle at Notre Dame. Then why isn't he a tackle? Why didn't he come into the league playing tackle?
I don't know about
Maybe they needed a guard.
Well, and especially for this team specifically, if you like and you trust what you have in Lyle Collins, put Zack Martin at right guard
And
and,
I'm
run it up
not
the middle.
saying I agree that
Which side is both
You are making a good case.
I understand what you're saying, but if you think about when he got here, 2014.
Yeah, I'd have to know what the whole dynamic of the
2014.
team was.
Remember, Jason Garrett was trying to rebuild the offensive line.
Doug Free still around in 2014?
Yes. I
Okay, he was the
believe
right
so.
tackle.
So they were having problems in the middle of the offensive line. That's why when they traded down in 2013, was it, for Travis Frederick, or 12? One of the two.
13.
13, right? It was like, I remember Jason Garrett sitting in here telling me that we are so weak up the middle. And he goes, and he wasn't like trying to disparage anybody that was playing there, because they're trying to play their ass off, but they weren't just good enough, right? He goes, we're getting knocked back 3 yards trying to run the ball.
Yeah.
Not pass block, run the ball. So I'm guessing he's thinking, okay, we got the left tackle. Now we got the center. I need somebody else to play guard. And that's why I think they made that move. Well, they could have had Johnny Manziel, right?
And listen, for this game, I think it's even more important. Which side is the most dangerous defensive lineman lining up for the Chargers?
Yeah.
And if
it's wherever they put Bosa, right?
Yeah. If Bosa's going to be on our right side, and he's going to be the end, then I want my best matchup to be Martin versus Bosa.
But Mickey's point has been, since it looks like Collins is out 5 games, it's an extended period. If it was one game, you would be in favor, not to put words in your mouth, of Martin staying at right guard.
Yes.
But since it's 5 games, you want to slide him out.
You think? I mean, was Jerry bluffing, throwing him off guard or off tackle? Whatever you want to say.
Good one.
I
right?
Like that. Because I'm sure in McCarthy's thinking there's no need to give him a scouting report on what we're doing, right? They don't need to know that. So anyway, I think that's
it would be interesting
it's a
if
good
he
debate.
was throwing them off.
Yeah. But I think if they do what Nate suggested, I think that's probably the best thing. Give them help, let them settle down, get the speed of the game, and then let's go. He started 14 games last year. And it wasn't pretty.
As a college free agent, and he started every year he was at Texas Tech. He was 4-year starter at Texas Tech.
And he probably made the biggest jump a guy can make from first year to second year. You know, he was one of the guys that won the off-season workout awards.
This past offseason?
Yeah, this past offseason, that he was in there, 10 guys.
He said he needed to get stronger.
Yes.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
I think part of it, too, is there's a next man up mentality, of course, and they've spent the last 6 months with him training to be a tackle. This scenario came up that he would be going in at right tackle if they're making that decision that he's the guy. And so let's see what he does. He's the next man up, and then if he struggles in the first quarter, then we go to plan B.
The next man
I say we start off McGovern and move Martin out. McGovern showed how well he can play against the number 1 defense in the NFL. Why not keep him in for consistency and let Zach do his thing?
I'll tell you what, I went back and watched, just kind of zeroed in on McGovern. He was pretty good.
He was. They isolated on him as well, and he was good.
I got another question for you. Okay, let's say Lyle Collins was playing, and Zack Martin is back. Who's the left guard?
Oh, it's still Williams.
Yep.
Yeah. Because they liked Williams there.
But we talk about Connor. We talk about Connor McGovern.
I know.
So is he in a? If all 5 are healthy, do we go back to Connor McGovern and Connor Williams are? Connor Williams obviously as the 4-year starter there at left guard, but as Connor McGovern, did he play so well that he's now challenging for a starting spot on the other side?
I don't know. I don't know if that would take place, because
I think he should.
Because everybody tried to portray there was a competition going on in training, and there wasn't.
Right.
It never materialized. So, but I think they have confidence now in McGovern. See, and that's what happened last year, I think. they were late moving Martin out because I don't think they thought McGovern was ready to step in at guard. And so they waited, and they got towards the end of the season. It's like, okay, let's see. I think he's – because remember, he didn't play his rookie year, right? He had surgery on his
on his body.
Yep. he tore the chest muscle.
Pec.
The pec, yeah. And I think he hurt it twice, and then they finally had surgery. And then he didn't have an off season that next year, right? There was no off season, no preseason, shortened training camp. So it took him a while to get back in. So I think when they had confidence that he could play right guard, that's why they moved Martin out. Now, the other point that I'm sure on their favor of staying with Steele out there is I'm sure before they moved Martin out there, they gave him some snaps at tackle. They didn't just show up on Wednesday and say, okay, practice 3 times, go out there. Well, that's what's going to happen this week, right? Because there was no preparation other than this week for that game. So maybe they needed more time to maybe adjust him out there. And you'll see. Because, as we know, you can't have a first-round pick at every spot on the offensive line. At some point,
you can at the defensive line in
right.
Washington, so why not?
But yeah, right, yeah. Well, you already got two of them.
You're close. We're
and
close.
Lale Collins is sort of a first-round pick, right? And so at some point, you got to have your Mark Tuinei or your Nate Newton come in that you didn't pay a whole lot to get that develops into a future.
They'll pay a whole lot of free agents.
Well, here's my
right.
Agents.
Damn free agents.
Damn free agents. Damn
Here's
right.
my question, Bill. You mentioned Plan B. If something goes awry with Terrence Steele, let's say that's Plan B for now. Plan C, is that Ty Nsekhe, or do you put in Connor McGovern at right guard and move Zack Martin out to right tackle during the game?
The latter. Come on.
So
No brainer, guys. No brainer.
I don't think they would do it.
You don't think so?
In mid-game.
You think it'd be Nsekhe?
Yeah. Otherwise, why he shouldn't be on the roster?
Well, no.
Well, what's he doing on the roster?
Well, yeah, you got a lot of guys on the roster that are not going to get any playing time.
Well,
even if somebody else goes down, they look down the line. They're like, oh, no. Excuse me.
Not you.
Wait, I want that guy down there. Come on.
Hey, that's how I first got to play in high school. They ran out of people. They said, okay, get in.
And how'd that go?
Not well.
What position did you play?
It didn't matter, Danny.
What position did you play?
It really didn't matter.
They put me in at guard.
So we have another option here. We could play Mickey at guard.
You remind me of my guard in high school. I think his name was Scott Scruder or something. This guy, he was 165 pounds, and we had him playing against Billy Don Jackson from Sherman High School.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that matchup?
Billy Don Jackson.
Man.
He played at Houston?
No.
Billy Don Jackson.
Billy Don, he was at Sherman, then he ended up going to UCLA.
UCLA.
Then he had the whole drug thing.
I wasn't 130 pounds soaking wet.
Oh, my goodness.
God.
And you know what happened on the first play? It was the first play I ever played in high school because they didn't let me play when I was a freshman because they were afraid I'd get hurt, right?
But you're up to 130 by your sophomore year.
Yes.
So you could
put on some weight. The linebacker gets up over me, and the first move he makes, he kicks me in the stomach. And I'm going, wait a minute, we didn't practice against anything like that.
Then you went and crapped on yourself and you're down to 130 now.
So Mickey, he actually did that. He said that. Wait a minute. We didn't...
I looked at the referee like, hey, come on, what's the deal, right? So the next...
You kicked him, didn't you?
The next play, I was ready. And he tried to do it again, right? Well, he ended up being offsides, but I came up with my hands and I got his foot, right?
Yeah.
And then the third play, I had to pull, and all I saw were red jerseys in front of me, and I just went down, right? All I know is our running back ran down to the 5-yard line.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wow. You're a Jerry Kramer.
So I'm all fired up, right? We got down to the goal line, and he subs me out, and then they score.
But you got him in position, man.
We came back the next day, film work, right? And I'm sitting in the
They
back.
had film back then?
Projector.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What? Just kidding.
And they were showing they were showing the film, and it looked like we were missing somebody on the offensive line because it went like this and then it went down.
Drop, yes.
And so they showed the play, right?
And the referee threw a flag 10 men on the field.
And the head coach saw that and he goes, "Oh my goodness, who threw that block?" And my friend's going, "Tell him it was you." I said, "No, I ain't saying nothing."
Yeah. He might make you play some more. He might get more playing time.
Right?
All right.
And on that note, let's take a break here on Mick
Thank you,
Shots.
Chris.
No telling what Mickey has up his sleeve.
That's my Mick shot for the
You
day.
ain't lying.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
To Mick Shots.
Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders making the team returns for another exciting season. Don't miss the season 16 premiere this Friday, September 17th at 9/8 Central, only on CMT.
There you go.
All right.
I'm talking about.
Last 4 minutes of Mick Shots here.
Yeah, we might be able to stretch it out a little.
Okay.
What do you think?
All right. So you want to talk about the kicker?
Yeah, why'd they do it?
Did you have kicking experience too?
You have a kicking story? I mean, another kicking story, not the one
Where he got kicked?
right in the.
I learned a deep snap.
Okay, wait a second. This could be your Mick Shot for today, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Here it is, the Mick Shot of the day.
You could do that.
That's amazing.
Since I was a man without a position, I worked with the kicker. I was the holder. So when he was practicing off on the side, I held for him.
And so every once in a while you snuck a kick in?
I snuck a deep snap in. I learned a deep snap.
Just deep snap?
Yeah.
Oh, no kicking. Okay.
Hey, I am versatile. Just
Deep
like
snapping,
in this business.
Deep snapping is an art.
That's right.
Yeah, it's pretty good if you can do it.
But unfortunately, after you snap it, you got to block somebody.
And you have to be versatile in this business.
That's right.
Which is why Dani Sureck is headed to the Arizona Cardinals. What are you going to be doing there?
Pretty much a lot of the same stuff I'm doing here. Team
You're
reporter,
You're going to be versatile.
Yeah, but the people won't be nearly as cool as us, man.
I know.
Come on.
I hope they're just a fraction of how cool y'all are.
She's going to be their Casey Phillips.
Yep.
In Tampa Bay.
Kind of do a little bit of everything. So I'm excited. It's been quite the whirlwind, very quick. So I'm going to head out there, and then I'll be back here January 2nd.
You did good.
For the Cardinals game.
All right, that's right. Cardinals.
She did good, didn't she?
You see there, the journalism school at Missouri trains people well.
Oh, man.
Casey
right?
Phillips, who is Casey, by the way, is basically has the same role that you will have with the Arizona Cardinals with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it has turned out great for her. And she worked her way up just like you were working your way up, where she worked at Disney, the Washington Wizards, and then the Rams, and then to Tampa Bay, and she's covering Tom Brady. I mean, she did an interview last week where it went viral, where she's interviewing Brady, Gronk, and Levante David all together the week of the season. When they won the Super Bowl, she hosted the boat parade, the ceremony, and everything. So that's what, if Cliff Kingsbury...
Get ready for your parade.
Fingers crossed.
If Cliff Kingsbury can finally win something, then that could be in your future, too.
Actually, Everson will enjoy that conversation she had. Tom Brady, somehow they got on to defensive players getting penalized for, blatant hits or blindside hits. And Brady went on for 3 minutes talking about, he goes, it's a punishment that the defensive player shouldn't have to face. When that happens, it's the quarterback's fault because he's throwing a pass where he shouldn't be throwing it, and he's leading his guy right into that hit. But he went on forever on it, right? And it was a really insightful answer.
And I've heard Tim Brown talk about that, too. Tim did some TV stuff with us right after he retired, and he was talking about how it's a responsibility of the receiver. On a crossing route, you have to be aware of what's in front of you, and you can't just be, with your,
head up your butt.
Yeah, and be blindsided like that, And so it's a responsibility of the receiver.
Well, it almost turns into, because they know they're going to get the call, it's so the quarterback. So it's almost like a flop thing. You just go in there as if you have the intention, wide receiver-wise, and they know that they're not going to catch it. They know they might get hit. So then they
go limp.
They feint an effort while the DB is just trying to make a play.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, but anyway, that was. We're sorry to see Dani go.
Yes,
by the way.
Bittersweet. I've loved working with you guys.
Yeah,
learned a lot.
man.
Had a lot of fun. A lot of laughs.
Go see another crazy good quarterback and
Stay in touch.
Yeah,
Another quarterback from the area, right?
That's right. That's right.
Was he in high school when you were in high school?
And you went to what
No.
high school?
Plano Senior High. Because
Same district.
This is not a good sign.
Yes, it is.
Nick Eatman's here.
Dang it!
Sign.
Nick
Oh,
Eatman.
no!
Yay! Look at that.
Thank you. No! Dang it, Mickey, look.
Did I win my
Can you
bet?
guys look? You see
Yeah,
the
there
tears
you
forming?
go.
Man.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Show it to the camera. Yeah.
That's
There's
nice.
a lot
Oh,
of
is this one right
signatures.
here?
Lot of signatures.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you think they're
Good
going to
stuff.
be mad if I hang this up at my desk out there?
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
This should go in my
Put it
apartment.
in your
Because they're
apartment.
like, look, you want to go back there, you can go back there. But if you want to stay here, you got to take that down.
Oh my gosh, how special.
Well, I feel, I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I feel like I'm just the deliverer here. I don't know. I just delivered that. There's the people that have done some great stuff with that. Roxanne Medina really did a great job with it, but I just wanted to. You'll be able to read it stuff later on, but
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to read it anytime soon. My goodness. Don't take this camera,
Good
Chris.
stuff, man. Good stuff.
Congratulations.
Good stuff.
We're gonna miss you, Dani.
That's
Thank you,
amazing.
guys.
Yeah,
Thank
right
you.
there.
Way to go.
That's good
All right.
Delivery man, Nick Eatman.
Go ahead. He comes in, he lays the boom down, didn't he? Go ahead, bro.
Well, we never got to the kicker, did we?
Okay.
Who cares?
So what do you want to say about the kicker?
cares?
You know what? I thought they should have done that from the beginning. Because
Thanks, Nick.
from a practice squad standpoint, what happens if the kicker, this isn't like replacing Randy Gregory,
we talked about
right?
this.
You
talked
got to
about
have
this.
somebody
Yep.
to replace him. So put that guy on there.
Well, it might have been the plan all along.
Like wait a week
Yeah,
and then get him,
stick
get him
around
back
and
here.
stick around and
Yeah.
And
And hey, he missed the 31-yarder.
Yeah.
He missed the extra point.
Yes.
And I'll give him the 60-yarder.
No, the 60-yarder. No.
That doesn't count.
No,
It
I'm
was,
not
at least
worried
it
about
was
that.
accurate.
Yes.
It just came up.
Well,
a
didn't
little
Jerry
bit
Jones
short.
say today that apparently he's dealing with a quad injury or
Yes,
something
and
too?
then he did the back surgery, but now there was a quad at some point in training camp which delayed how much he was doing. John Fossil swore when he did his press conference yesterday that it had nothing to do with his inactivity.
did.
But he went on and on and on, and then he basically said he hit those first 2 kicks high, meaning it wasn't like he hit the top of the ball, but he didn't get underneath it to drive it. He hit the ball too high. So
well, they said he was booming in the pregame.
He was. I mean, he was. And so, but again, when you're not under the pressure of
you're not kicking into a line.
Yes.
So your trajectory is a little different.
All right, we're going to continue the conversation tomorrow here on
We should
Mick
probably
Shots.
say his name though, right?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
That's his name.
Harulahu.
There you go.
You said it right the
Said
first
it
time.
perfectly.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, that does it for Mick Shots. And
Danny.
great
That
luck in
does
the
it
Valley
for
of the
Danny
Sun.
in
A very
Dallas.
bright future for Dani Sureck.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll talk at you tomorrow on Mick
Go
Shots.
Danny, go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?